this week's video. Today's video is something that I really think will join together the fact that I want this to be a scientific art channel, bringing both together. I have drawn stuff here at home, and today I want to draw stuff here. In fact, to make that work, I should be drawing stuff from home here. Just realised that. But you know what I mean? I want to draw it in the field. I have been obsessed with field drawing notebooks for years, and I'm just going to link and show some pictures on the screen right now of my absolute favourite sketchbook artists that I've been following and have inspired me to make this video. So thank you guys for your incredible artwork. And this is the chosen rock pool that I'm just going to sit and observe, and I don't know if I'm just going to do it in pencil, in watercolour, in pen, 3. I'm not a good sketcher. I like to do a pencil sketch but refine it until it's perfect, paint and then do pen. I very rarely sketch, and when I do sketch I get frustrated because obviously sketching is like trying to catch something instantaneously, and I can't catch it instantaneously, and I end up overworking it, not doing it great the first time. But it's a skill I need to learn and a skill I want to learn, so this video is my first practice attempt that I'm hoping it comes out okay. I want to share my attempt with you guys. I'm excited for this video, and I'm not really sure there's much else to say except for I suppose I better get on with it because the tide's coming in. When I sat down to try and work out what I was going to draw, I didn't really know if there was going to be very much happening in the rock pool that I could sketch from, but sitting there for a while, all the little creatures and inhabitants of the rock pool, mainly hermit crabs, just got used to me, which was really cool, and they went about their lives and I got to watch them doing their own thing. They even made friends with my tripod. So the first sketch that I did was of the front of this hermit crab here that was just sorting its way through and feeding on some of the seaweed, because it was just a really good opportunity to really have a close-up look at these species and try to capture their personality. And as soon as I knew that hermit crabs were out and about for me to look at, I couldn't resist getting the paints out, because the colours on hermit crabs are stunning. From bright blues and bright reds, purples, greens. The more you look, the more multicoloured they seem. So I really had fun getting to paint that in the field. Interrupting the sketching is one of the... Well, it's not interrupting the sketching, I'm going to sketch him. One of the biggest crabs I have ever seen. So as I sat there, I saw this giant crab that kept coming round, and he was massive, and he only had one claw, so I managed to get a quick sketch of him down the first time I saw him, and got very excited that I saw such a big crab looming through the depths of the rock pool, which was really cool to see. And in between where he would walk out of where he was hiding and then have a wander around the rock pool, also saw another common shore crab, but in a marble tone, so he was almost completely blended in with the sea and had these dark and light patterns. And also this other little hermit crab that just seemed to be oozing personality, so I quickly sketched him down and tried to try and capture the personality of that. I was then super lucky that this crab kept coming in and out and exploring the rock pool, including trying to hide under my welly a couple of times, really making me jump because he was such a big crab and I could feel it, and I just wasn't expecting it. So I managed to get painting him, and he was this gorgeous emerald green kind of colour with some really cool brown patterning on. So by this point the tide had started to really come in, and I knew that I just had enough time to try and get one more page done. And sitting there and looking at the way that the light was changing and the shadow, I really liked the way that the fucus kind of outlined the rock pool and there was a shadow beneath it. So I started to sketch the outline of the rock pool really roughly and really quickly, and it was one of my favourite sketches I've ever done. The final sketch is really loose and I've got random colours in there, but it was something that was so out of my style and so completely random that I just really liked how it came out. I ended the drawing session just by writing down exactly what each species was, or a little note about why I drew it. I quite like this, it just kind of made it a bit more field sketchy that I described it and wrote something about it rather than just a page of random sketches. But yeah, I really liked the way that it all came out. Oh my god, I can tell you now that that was one of, if not my favourite art session I have ever done. I was a bit sceptical at first because I didn't know how good it would be and I was worried about that, but within about 30 seconds I forgot about that. And it's weird, and it sounds like a Pirates of the Caribbean thing where they say part of the crew, part of the ship, the bit where they blend into, where they mould into the ship, but you genuinely feel by sitting there and observing it that you just become part of the rock pool. And the camera shut off a couple of times. I felt really bad to go get up because I was disturbing them from their lives, because you sit there and you watch it, and not only are you watching it, you're really looking for certain details, like bits of the hermit crab's claw, or how the light reflects off of the seaweed, because you're looking specifically to sketch it and draw it, and you can't make that stuff up. And it's quite exciting because you have to do it, like you're forced to produce ideas and things to sketch, because, well, that was a lot further out. My art style completely changed, which is bizarre, because and great, because I have been stuck in this certain style for so long, and I just needed something, and I like doing it and I want to practice that kind of style, but it's exciting to try new things, and this was definitely exciting. And then the next time I drew my, oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm talking so fast because I'm so excited. I need to remember to not talk at 1,000 miles an hour. And then the next drawing I did was, I really like the outline of the fucus, the way that it kind of, the edge of the rock pool is almost defined by what you could see by the leaves of the fucus, not the rock pool itself. So that was really interesting. So I drew the outline of the fucus and then filled in the rest of it, and then went to paint the fucus. And as soon as I started painting that in, I didn't like it as much. I wanted that plain, I wanted the colour to be inside the rock pool and the plain stuff to be on the outside. And that blew my mind. And now I have a million ideas of different things of where to put colour and where not to put colour. And then I outlined the outline in bold. I really liked the way that sketch come out. And because you have less paint, you have less time, I can't wash my brush that much in between, I have less water, you don't want to wait for the paint to dry before going to the next one because it's kind of all time dependent. I kind of ended up with this really free style, like I just painted where the seaweed was, and it was just colour blobs and I was kind of painting how I imagined it to be drawn, and I just wasn't concentrating on what was important. And I really feel like I captured the essence of it, which sounds really stupid, but that's what art is. It was really fun, and I'm really sad that I discovered doing this right at the end of the rock pooling kind of season before it gets far too cold to do anything. I'd like to be out here every day for the whole year just drawing rock pooling stuff. And now I have a PhD to do, I'm doing that too. But in an ideal world, okay, I hope you like this video. Thanks for tuning in. If you're going out and sketching your own stuff, please send them to me, tweet them to me on my social media accounts. I want to see what everybody else is getting up to. I was inspired to do this by other artists, and I'm hoping that maybe some of you might get inspired to go out there and draw and to try it, because I'm telling you, it's different. It is a lot different than drawing from images on your computer at home. So I highly recommend, please try, and yeah, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye! Oh, and I should also mention, if doing this, your bum will be so unbelievably numb. So numb! But it's worth it.